Hi, I'm Lea Louise from Inspired Quilting by Lea Louise. I'm so glad you're here with me today. Check out this gorgeous quilt behind me. If you can see past these two funny faces sitting with me, Mimi has a sleepover this weekend, and the whole gang is here and they wanted to see my quilt. But this quilt turned out gorgeous. It's a fat quarter batik quilt, and it's a free pattern down below. You can download it and check out all the different variations. There's 4 different sizes in there. But check out the fabric selection as well in the video. There's so much in this tutorial. I do hope you enjoy it. And we want to send a shout out to our cousins, Charlotte and Mina.
Hi, Charlotte and Mina.
Hi,
Have a great day. Enjoy this quilt. I want to show you how this particular quilt evolved. It's kind of late right now, but I know I'm going to get up and make a quilt in the morning. And so I thought, well, let me get these fabrics pulled together. And so I've had some fabrics held aside for quite a while that I really liked as a combination. They're predominantly black with gold prints on the front. And I really like the look of them, but I never quite found what was going to work best with them, as far as some kind of a contrast or maybe a different color, a different pattern. I just wasn't sure what I wanted to do with this. So as I pulled these together, I thought, all right, where can I go? Obviously, black is dominant and the gold is the big contrast. Now, this has a little bit of color, these two here, which I like, so that's going to help me. But my first choice was to go with the golds. And I had this piece that I really liked, and it has some blues and purples in it, but it works really, really well with this group of fabric. And then I had this one, and I thought, okay, that'll work. So it's starting to tone down the black so that it really stands out, but it's not so dominant throughout the quilt because we've got some other colors coming in. And then, of course, notice this is the purple and blue. This is almost a brownish purple on top of the gold, these little tiny dots. And then this one has purple. And I thought, okay, so here we are again with me going with purple. I don't know what that's about. You all probably know that purple's not my go-to color, but I sure have been using it a lot lately, and it's working well. Now, I had this together. These two are really going to be the ones I'm going to use to get to my final color scheme. And it's about the different colors throughout here. Now, it looks black, but it's really a dark, dark navy background. And it has a lot of the golds, like this has a lot of the golds, and this too is almost a navy background. But they're dark enough to work with the black, and they have the gold, so that works as well. But these have some wonderful little sections of colors with, you know, the yellow and the golds, but there's some bronzy colors, there's some pink, there's green, and there's these blues. And I thought, well, you know, these are navy blue, so maybe blue might be a direction I go. But then I found this fabric and I thought, oh my goodness, yeah, that works really well because that, again, it's a purple. I don't even know what to call this. Is this what they call eggplant or aubergine or I don't even know, but it looks wonderful with this here. So I'm coming together, but they're just, you know, and the colors work really well. I like this color scheme, but it needs more. So I pulled this one out and I thought, okay, that's kind of a nice bright gold. And at first I was going to use this as a narrow strip contrast. The pattern I'm making, the all blocked in pattern, has some narrow strips between a few of the blocks that are accent strips. And the intent is to really bring out some bright colors in that spot to enhance the rest of the colors in the block. And I was going to do that. And then I thought, you know, maybe I should do something with the purple. And I thought, okay, I can do this because, you know, yellow and purple really do well together. And this shows us, look at these gold and purple prints. It's obviously something that our fabric designers are selecting, so it should be something that will work for us as well. And so I did something really wild and crazy, and I pulled this out. And at first I just sort of cringed and thought, oh my goodness, this is like so purple. And there's just some loose threads here. Um, but it kind of worked. And I thought, okay, I'm looking for a contrast. This is definitely that. It has this darker purple, which is sort of worked in through a lot of these. This brighter background, this mottled background, is lighter and brighter, and it certainly brings a contrast in. And I looked at it for a while, and I said, okay, yeah, I can do this. That would be kind of a fun print to use. And so the pattern I'm using, I need 6 fat quarters for 6 blocks. So I'm thinking, all right, well, I'm going to go with 12 blocks. They measure 13 inches. And so, you know, it's a good size block. So 12 blocks will take me a good distance as far as, you know, size of a quilt. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm going to need a 12th fat quarter for my blocks. Now this is going to be my accent. And I'm thinking, where am I going to go? And so I'm digging through my fabrics, and look what came up, another purple. Oh my goodness. And again, I'm like, eek, what do I do with this? And look at the commonalities here. We've got the purple background, which is kind of wild, but these colors need something really wild to bring them out and make them stand out. But look at, there's the yellow, there's the blue, there's the gold, there's a bit of green. So all the colors that I'm pulling into these fat quarters are in this particular piece. And I thought, well, since I'm making the 12 blocks, I'm going to need 2 fat quarters for the accent. And I thought, okay, these two will work really good, but I still need that 12th fat quarter. Where am I going to go? And so I went through my my fat quarter stash, which really is dwindling at this point. I've come a long ways in using my fabric, which is great. And it's putting me into a position where I have to make some harder decisions about what fabrics to put together. So I came up with this next one, and you're going to think I'm crazy because I thought I was too. And let me just show you what I came up with. Look at this. Is that not the funkiest thing? And it's got what we need. It has sort of this purpley background similar to that, but look at these dots. They're gold and they're yellow and they're sort of this terracotta kind of, I don't know what that is, color. And it's got this same background, but it has a bit of the blue. Now, this was the startling part. Oh, I can hardly even open it. Look at that. What are we thinking here? But you know what? If we had a block that had 5 pieces and this was number 6, that would really be pretty cool. I think that would look awesome and really striking. And so we've got the common theme of some dots in here. These are open circles like rings. These are the colored dots with more colored dots. And I thought, you know, I think this is what I'm going to do. So here's my fabric. This is where we're going. And I really don't know what to expect from this quilt, but I like how this combination has come together. So let me show you where we're going with this. I'm going to get this laid out and show you how to cut this block, and we're going to see what we get with this. So let's have some fun. So when it came time to cut my fabric, I thought, all right, I'm going to take one more look at it and see if there's anything else I want to add or take away, because this is kind of wild and out there. And I will probably use more of this color. Whoops, I got too many tied up in here. More of this color than these bright blues. I don't know how that'll work, but I found another couple that I had originally included with these black ones, but I didn't include it because this was so yellow. Now, I know on the camera this is coming out as almost like a bright lemon yellow, but this really is a gold. Not as dark as these gold, but it's definitely a golder color. And I didn't like the yellow in this in here, because we've got the golds and this yellow just sort of doesn't do it. Now, isn't that funny that I'm worried about a little yellow, but yet this bright blue and purple are just, fitting great. But sometimes it's just, the a little bit about the shade of something. These two look good and they'd be a fun quilt. I had another piece of fabric that goes with this. I can't find it right now. That is has these kind of a circular pattern, but it has lots of colors, and that may be something on its own. But these just definitely don't work. I don't like them. And so that's something that we're going to set aside. So I wanted to show you some fabrics that I chose not to use because it is a quandary. You go through and you pick some and some work and some don't. And it's just a process, and you find what works good, what feels good, what looks good, what you like, and then you go with it and you say, all right, we're going to make a quilt. So now I'm ready. I've convinced myself this is the fabric that I'm going with, and it's time to make a quilt. So let's get started. It is time to cut the blocks. Now, in order to do that, I need to divide my 12 fat quarters into two different piles that are 6 fat quarters each. So I kind of want to balance them because they're going to be intermixed within the quilt. So the first thing I did is I took my most colorful fabric and put that down first. And then I kind of went this way. I divided the other two with more colors. These are the navy blue backgrounds, and it was just a random choice. I just put them together. It really doesn't matter which way they go, but the fact that these have this purpley background and these both carry in a lot of colors, I wanted both sets of blocks to have that in common. Then the next thing I did is these are the primarily just gold on black, but they're sort of an organic, more florally print. So I wanted to balance those out. And then I went with these, which are more the graphic. It's kind of hard to see them between all that. And one is dots, one is lines, but that's okay. It divides it up, and it creates some interest into each of these groups. So now, luckily, I have 4 of the golds, so I can easily divide these up. I checked, let's see, there were a couple different things that I looked at here. Both of these have purple swirls, so I want one in each pile. Both of these have the purple dots, so I want one in each pile. I'm just trying to balance this. It's not that it's specifically required to separate and such like that, but I just like some balance. And if I put all this in one block, it's going to be monochromatic. You're going to have a repetition of this kind of pattern. So I want to spread it out a little. And then this is my random, and I promise this is gold and not that lemon yellow that it looks like. So what I'll do here is I will, put this swirl in, and then I'll put this gold fabric in, and we've got a good group of 6 fabrics here. And then I'll do the same here. What I like actually about this with this particular dot is, see all these gold dots? They're going to work really well with that gold fabric. I think that's going to be fun. And then this too will just slide in. So I think that really balances both sides. The resulting blocks are going to be different enough from each other, but yet these colors are very compatible, so they're going to work well in the same quilt. And then these are the accent pieces for both. This will be shared between the quilt, between all the blocks, so that'll sort of tie it in together as well. So what I'm going to do next is get these cut, and I'll show you how to put this quilt together. We're really coming along well. I love these colors. I think it's going to be a beautiful quilt. Here's the first set of 6 blocks, and they look really nice. That gold really, I've got these tags so I know what order to put them in, but this gold really warms up each block nicely. And it just tones down the black. It's just a really nice quilt. I like this. And the blue brings in some great color, and the gold of these dots, I think it came out really well. I like this a lot. So let me get the other set of blocks to show you, and then we'll piece this quilt together. And here's group number 2. See how that gold just really, oh, it looks so nice. And the purple and these purple dots, I love how they just really enhance and bring everything else out. There's a lot of great color for a predominantly black and gold quilt. I mean, this has a lot going on, and I really like how it turned out. Those purple stripes are just a lot of fun. I love all the little colored bubbles in there. It looks wonderful. Okay, so it's time to put this together. Let me get all 12 of these blocks put together. And you see the size here. They're 14.5. They're going to finish as a good size quilt. I love it. It's going to be 4 blocks by 3. So let me show you what that's going to look like. And here's a beautiful fall quilt on a gorgeous fall day. The leaves were fluttering down everywhere. I had to shoo them off the quilt a couple times. But this really did turn out so pretty. I like those colors. They're great. They're perfect for this time of year. It really is a nice fall colored quilt. And that purple just adds a great splash of color along with the blue. I'm really happy with it. And I hope you enjoyed this quilt and you'll take an opportunity to make it. Remember, it's a free pattern and the download is listed right below under the description. So take advantage, and I'm anxious to see your quilt. Make sure and send me a copy. And here's another view showing off all those gorgeous colors. Have fun.